So this is the one I drew, which is very like a unique take on Outlast 2, where I actually try to sympathize with these nightmare characters and age them down. And it's like so unique. I've never seen anyone else do this before because the characters in the game are literally horrifying. This is literally what you can do, and I had so much fun to design them and come up with clothes for them. And I wouldn't have done this if I wasn't still so passionate about, because I am telling my own story through this. And that's what, like, don't be afraid to do that if you, like, relate to something, because I relate to being manipulated. So I'm, like, telling that own story from my own experience and how that feels through these, like, characters, like, they're victims. And they're innocent, and they're, like, literally, like, kind of their innocence was destroyed because of where they were born. Like, I think everyone can relate to this. And even, like, I even made the blonde one the same age in this one as I was when I was first in this fandom, and that was a little traumatic. To be so young and to be in such a dark place, basically. And this is like my way of expressing it, being like, you know what, it could have been a lot worse. Okay, I wanted to make this because it's I'm mourning the past right now, and I'm very sad. all the videos I've made for the past like 3 months or so have I don't know, I've literally just been posting nonstop for the past month and a half now. Taking a break from my animation that I've been working like a lot on, so I really needed a break from that anyway. And I've just been pouring all my energy into a game from 2017 that does not deserve me, but I drew it anyway because I felt so passionate, and I wanna share how much growth I've had, and just how much my style has changed somehow in the span of that month and a half that I've been making it, because it really doesn't make any sense. And again, I'm mourning it because I just posted my last ones yesterday, and I'm sad about it. I'm really like, I'm mourning it like an old friend, like an old identity, and I'm here to share that. So I don't know how this will turn out or if I'll post it, but I'll decide, because the passion is real. And I'll definitely put a warning for blood too. Let me say that. Yeah, warning for blood, and like, this is a horror game I was drawing, but half of them I drew are really like wholesome and happy, and then the other half for me is me just showing myself the worst parts of me through the characters. So be warned. I'm gonna show it anyway. This is my first one, and I got inspired to draw this one because of characters. Original creator, and he drew them in 2017 on my birthday. And I might as well show it. Like, I got so inspired by them. So his name is Emergo. And I drew literally all of them. Like, every single one. Except for like 2. Because I was so inspired by all of them. Because they're supposed to be orphans. And so all of them are here. I mean, at first. Yeah, and then because they were deleted, I was like venting about it, so I paired it with a shot of like losing all of them and reflecting a past art that I drew in 2017, but I revamped it and made it so scary. So I wanted to scare people with this, and I think I did a great job. So, but I was telling that story because that's how it felt when I went back here. And I was scrolling, I was finding all of this old art, but I was seeing how a lot of it was deleted, and that shit was so painful. So I had to vent about it. I had to be like, oh my god, like, that's how it feels, that night and day difference. Like, you remember, like if any of you remember like nostalgia that you love, and you remember artists that through stuff and it like changed your life. And then imagine what it's like to have that like ripped away, basically. Like they just disowned it, and it's like now you're left with all the memories, and now the fandom's gone, and it feels like it's up to you to like draw it and express the memories that you have and the love that you had for what doesn't even exist anymore. Like it really blew my mind. And then the next one was me drawing a past version of the characters that are all villains. I put so much effort into it, oh my god. This one was very heavy, very much so me like facing the worst parts of me through it, absolutely. And I made a whole video about this because it was so personal to me, and it ended up being the thing that basically got me to face the worst parts of myself through all of my art. I was so passionate about it too, but it was bound not to resonate with people as much because it was literally just me pouring my heart out, me facing that worst part of myself, facing the horror of that. It's not pretty, like obviously it's not. It's like, yeah, like that part that isn't accepted by people. Like I know all of us know what that's like, to not be understood when you pour your heart out. You show all of your pain, you show you're struggling, and it's not understood, and yet we all understand what it's like. So I got to directly face that. And then I drew them as kids. So immediately after I drew that, I drew this. It was like a form of healing. I'm so fucking funny. You know, like they were raised to be. They were literally raised to be terrible people, basically. So all of these are literally just like me telling my story through it. Exactly what I was going through when I was drawing it is what I drew. And I did not hold back. Like I was being purely authentic. I was being forced not to care what people thought, and it gave me, like, I swear I like sped run through all stages of grief in the span of like 30 days when I did this. For this next one, I wanted to show how I literally like directly reference other art and the art that I've drawn recently. It's like a direct parallel to it. And this is literally what you can do too. Because like my stuff isn't completely original, but it also is completely original. So this is my way of like crediting the artist that I got inspired from. So this is the one I drew, which is very like a unique take on Outlast 2, where I actually try to sympathize with these nightmare characters and age them down. And it's like so unique. I've never seen anyone else do this before because the characters in the game are literally horrifying. This is literally what you can do, and I had so much fun to design them and come up with clothes for them. But this is the original artist, and her name is Sarah Says. That's the artist's name, and she's very, very talented, very amazing, like art goals. Because whenever you see her art style, it is literally like it's just so recognizable. So that's where I got inspired from mine. So you can like see the resemblance in the poses. It's really cool. It's kind of like a swap of the colors too. And then this one, I love this one. And then with this, so I like literally like combined it, and I kept like the villain expression. Like this guy is like the top tier bad guy, so he, of course he yeah, he kind of swaps with the other, with this version. It's really cool actually. But that pose was perfect, so I kept it. And again, these are the villain characters aged down, so this is me trying to like literally sympathize with the villains who are literally in the game just to kill you. And the blonde one is a cult leader. But it shows, like, my idea that there at some point they were just kids raised by a terrible person, so they grew up to be terrible people too because of his influence. So it's actually really sad. And this one is really cool because it's a metaphor. I had a lot of fun drawing this because it's very, I feel like it's deep, yeah. And the background came out really well. All of these I copied and pasted backgrounds for. And it still turned out amazing, so it doesn't even take much effort to make things look incredible if you know how to cut the right corners. And then that's inspired by, I guess, yeah, this one. Yes, it's subtly inspired by it because it's about being overshadowed in a way, only this guy's kind of overshadowing him, so it's a little reversed. And then this one, yeah, I'm doing these now, so they're still a work in progress, but I'll show the finished version when it's done. So that one's this one, so this is how it looks while it's still in progress. And I'm using like symbolism, so like the cross is symbolism, and that's something this character ends up wearing later. And then the knife is symbolism, and the book also is too. So I'm like combining all of that into like to let it tell a story basically. And then this one is still in progress, but it's the final thing I'm working on, and it's literally a direct parallel of this. Again, it's such an amazing art style. Really so good. So inspirational. And then mine again. It's gonna, I already know, like I'm gonna get inspired by it. And it's all just me trying to like go into, again, tap in this game's untapped potential. Again, I think this is the last thing I'm gonna draw for it because it can't take me alive. And they really don't deserve me as an artist. Honestly, it's too messed up. Like, I'm literally just trying to heal from playing it. Like, do not play that game. Don't play it. Nope, only if you're brave enough. Yeah, because it's so extremely sad. It's so heartbreaking. I'm literally just making it worse, so. But it is fun. Because you can tell a story, and this is how I tell the story through the characters. Again, this is how it looks. And I put them all together, so I'll probably just draw them all together. I'm just so proud of this. I have to show it, because it's like, it's so like, it just feels very personal to me. It's a very nostalgic game in a really weird way. So if any of you want to like go back to like your nostalgia and you finally can like draw stuff now, because that's what I've had to do. Like it's very healing to take things that you used to love and you couldn't draw before, because this came out 10 years ago. It's very healing to like finally be able to draw all these ideas that you've been like sitting with for years. And I wouldn't have done this if I wasn't still so passionate about, because I am telling my own story through this. And that's what, like don't be afraid to do that if you like relate to something, because I relate to being manipulated. So I'm like telling that own story from my own experience and how that feels through these like characters, like they're victims. And they're innocent, and they're like literally like kind of their innocence was destroyed because of where they were born. Like I think everyone can relate to this. And even like I even made the blonde one the same age in this one as I was when I was first in this fandom, and that was a little traumatic to be so young and to being in such a dark place, basically, and this is like my way of expressing it, being like, you know what, it could have been a lot worse. So yeah, tell your story. Like, if you want to project through characters and to be like set this part of you free, that's what I'm doing. I'm like, it's okay. It's really cool to like work with their designs and work with the potential that was there to like tell this story of like blood being a symbolism for violence and all. And to like show not tell, that's what I'm challenging myself to do. Like, show the weapon, show it changing over time, being a symbol for how they feel. And then even like the jewelry and all being symbols for manipulation. This one's also one of my favorites. I'm guilty. It's their actual canon backstory where this character took care of kids. He's actually a cult leader. Like, really, really scary. I would love to put like the actual in-game pictures next to this, because there's such a night and day difference. It is so fucking funny. I just died laughing putting them side by side, because it's like, how the fuck is this canon? That's what makes it so fun. He's fucking terrifying. He's like really fun to draw. It's hilarious. That's all I could find on TikTok were just a bunch of edits of this bastard. Yeah, because people feel so bad for what he had to go through. He's good with kids, yeah, but he's still a monster. He's literally the complete opposite in the game. He's a murderer, psychopath, just a smasher in my book. Yeah. FBI open up type of person, yeah. But people still fell in love with him. It's like, okay, I understand, and it's beautiful to see what you can create with it too. Because I also feel bad for him, and I see myself through him too. Because his story was that he was manipulated by his mentor to the point of not even having an identity and having canon they pronouns. And being forced to kill all the kids, basically, and it's so dark, and that just being the thing that just destroyed his sanity, basically. And it's very relatable, and in one way it is, because this is literally what being American is like. And in one way it's like a metaphor for being raised in a chaotic place that is just a complete lie, and basically having to face that your whole life is a lie, and the people that, like your teachers and all, like, I hate to say it, most of them are really, really stupid, and they taught you everything wrong, and you have to, now that you're an adult, you have to teach yourself what's right. This game is the opposite, though. Like, he becomes a cult leader. That's what this shows. He loses his identity, and he just falls into that same corruption that his mentor is all about, because he's the most egotistical bastard, and it was so fun to draw. So they're basically like a yin and yang of being the same type. They're both evil in different ways. And even that last one looks like yin and yang coming back, like in the shadow work one I did. It's so sad, because they definitely had a good relationship in the past. And I showed that with this one. This is the second to last one I posted, where I drew them as kids again. And it's so sad. I drew them all having a good relationship, but again, it was all a lie. And I drew it because I literally had the same kind of relationship with someone in real life. The same kind of like father figure. It was a nightmare. Like, it was so scary. Like, and to like draw something that reminds me of it is like healing and like painful at the same time, because they can seem like such a good person on the outside. They could be one in one way, but they can still be a monster. And then this is my last one that I posted. And it's basically like facing reality, facing the present moment, and trying to accept, because he is a cult leader, yeah. And that is his home, yeah. He has a lot of followers. It's like, yes, of course. And the crown, that's what the crown symbolizes, is being basically tied to that leadership role and being like what's it called, like a deity or like a, yeah, godlike figure, definitely a god complex going on. And trying to accept like this image of blood rain being like a symbol of chaos, being like power, being like a good thing. Like basically like glorifying the pain, glorifying the trauma and all that, but really in this last one it's that he's still stuck in the past. Yeah. And still re-experiencing that same pain. And so many of us are. Through what we try to do, even me drawing this is me like basically ending up the same way. And being trapped in it and re-experiencing being tied emotionally to these like really messed up characters. But I'm also posting this to show that it's like it's okay. Because I need to mourn this, and this is my way of mourning it. I'm like sad, like I'm so proud of all of these, and you see like how much growth that I've had through all of these. Like they look incredible, and I'm just in shock that I was able to draw all of these, and oh my god, and in such little time too, and you can see the growth. But it took so much time, and it took so much introspection. And it makes me sad, because no matter how much I drew this, I couldn't make it real again. I can't go back to the past, and I don't want to, because there's so much pain in the past. There's so much pain. Like, I wasn't a good person when I was last in this fandom. Like, I was very much so in this exact mindset where I felt like I had to sacrifice myself for other people, and even for things you love. And it's just not worth it, because I have so much more power now. And that's why everything I made is so powerful, because it is a direct metaphor for me. And you know, maybe you can see yourself too. Maybe that's why I want to like share this, because I know not everyone will resonate, but it's very, very, very personal to me, and that's why I've been talking about it on here. Like, it's just such a direct mirror to my life, and I'm so thankful I can finally share that, and I can finally see like why I relate so much to stuff like this, like the darkness, and why I relate to messed up characters like this, because I see their humanity. So that was the last one I made, and it's literally just how I've been feeling after all of this. And it's like you set yourself free, because I'm basically like, you don't have to stay in it anymore. You don't have to keep torturing yourself and running away from how you feel. Because that's basically what I've been doing, is like running from it. Even though I've been drawing it, I felt like I've been facing it, but I've still been stuck in it, basically. Because I'm like still re-experiencing it. Like, I got to re-experience it, because I was trying to set it free. I was trying to be like, it's okay, you can express yourself. But through doing that, I re-experienced how I felt. I felt trapped in this story that I was telling. I kept re-experiencing the pain that I felt, because I don't belong here anymore.